How did I end up here? Lying in your arms, watching city lights burn the stars.
All information is current as of this patch. So, you will learn Mauga, eh? Can't say I blame you when he's not only such a fun new tank to play, but he's also just an absolute specimen of a man whose charisma is sure to have anyone swooning for him. Suffice to say, I would in a heartbeat. And you know, his introduction couldn't have been any better timing with the new season in effect, Call of the Hunt, because what better to take on a beast than a mountain? This isn't the first time Mauga's been in play though. Back in early November, he was put on a live service for a trial run, essentially, shortly after he was revealed at BlizzCon. This is what I think should be done with every hero from now on to get feedback from the community on things that could be changed about them before they officially go live, or to avoid a life weaver situation where he released incredibly weak. Mauga was an interesting case though because the trial run showed him as being fairly balanced, akin to how Rematcher was upon release, aside from how his ultimate annihilation worked, which was soon changed, but the former actually got buffed for his official release. And I don't just mean in one area, but like his whole kit. I suppose they might be taking the ERE approach again, where they release the heroes super powerful so we can have fun with them for 2 weeks, and then nerf them, say, in the mid-season balance patch, or whatever. It makes sense. You want people to enjoy the new hero you put so much effort into, and hopefully keep new players whose eyes have been caught by them. And hey, with a character like Mauga that we've seen in the lore before, and not someone entirely new like the past 3 heroes have been, you want people to feel their excitement for this long-awaited character be justified. And before we get into the main kit, here are his passive abilities. I advise you keep the top one in mind. And because this is important, this is the source I use for quoting exact numbers of the main kit, and for explaining both armor and overhealth. Starting off, we have his primary weapon, or other weapons, Incendiary Chain Gun and Volatile Chain Gun, or just Gunny and Charger respectively for short, which is how I refer to them from now on. They're both pretty similar, but they both have a unique property. They both do around 90 damage per second and have a fall off range between 30 and 40 meters, with an immense 350 ammo to burn through, which is shared among them, and it takes about 2 seconds to reload. Plus, when firing, similar to D.Va, you'll be 15% slower. Not a huge difference granted, but it is noticeable when you are playing him. Made worse by the fact firing both at the same time will cause the penalty to stack, so you'll be 30% slower, do the math. But as for the unique properties of the two, to start with Gunny, after landing a measly 10 bullets, this will set the enemy on fire, causing damage over time similar to the effect of Ash's Dynamite or Torbjorn's Magma Core. And you know that thing I told you to keep in mind about Mauga gaining temporary health over health when dealing critical damage, converting 50% of the critical damage done into extra health up to 150 max? Well, using Charger on burning enemies will deal critical damage too, triggering the passive, meaning you don't always have to aim for the head, because yes, both can deal headshot critical damage normally. And to explain what overhealth is for those in the back quickly, it's temporary bonus health that will decrease ult charged gains for enemies by a whole 50% before they can get through it. Overhealth on top of armor, a type of health that reduces incoming damage by 30%. Sign me up, baby! So hey, in regards to the critical thing, at least dealing with heroes like Kiriko got a little easier, since you don't have to fail to hit the peanut-sized head hitbox anymore. Just set her ablaze and have at it. Honestly, these are a lot of fun to use. I got proper monkey brains when using them because they just feel that good to have going, especially both at once. Sure, you'll get through your ammo faster, but honestly, I didn't think it made too much of a difference. For the first of his 2 abilities, Overrun. This has Mauga charge forward at breakneck speed, and I'm talking a 250% buff to his base movement speed, and then performing a jump at the end that can temporarily stun anyone caught in what's called the inner radius. This deals 25 damage upon running into anyone, and then an extra 45 damage for the stomp to anyone in the outer radius of the impact zone, or 90 damage to anyone caught in the inner radius. Not to mention, you also get a sizable 50% damage reduction while in this charging state, which can last up to a maximum of 2 seconds. You can cut the ability short though by either pressing the ability button again, or the jump button, which will trigger the stomp early, which is honestly the better solution most of the time, but I guess the former of just cutting short the ability entirely has its uses, namely for getting away. It's insane too because not only does it have a super generous turning circle, the likes of which Reinhardt can only dream of, but you're also immune to every form of stun ability and the majority of ultimates while in this state. In fact, the only thing that can stop you is another Mauga using Overrun, so there's that.
That's so stupid.
And I mean everything too, from the likes of Reinhardt's Charge to Anna's Sleep Dart to even straight up ignoring Sombra's hack altogether. Finally, Overwatch is fun again! For 2 weeks. Yeah, this ability is just crazy. It's the perfect counter to the omnipresent overabundance of stun abilities that I thought they were just trying to deal with in Overwatch 2, but slowly started adding back in over time anyway. What was I going on about again? Do be careful though, because the immunity is not instant. It takes about 0.21 seconds for the ability to actually start. It's a minuscule window, sure, but it is worth keeping in mind so you don't cry foul if you get slapped or something. Second for the main abilities, Cardiac Overdrive. Due to the 2 bionic hearts Mauga has resting beneath his glorious pecs, he can kick himself into overdrive, no pun intended, to not only take less damage, around 30% less to be exact, but he can also heal while doing damage for 5 seconds while the ability is active. Sound good? Well, it's even better because this affects allies within a 10.5 meter radius of you as well. Yeah, you heard that right, a tank that can heal their team. What is this? A support character? I'm sorry, I genuinely love Kiriko, both as a hero and a character, so I don't mean to keep ragging on her, but come on, she's complained about a lot for a reason. It's similar to Jungle Queen's Adrenaline Rush passive in a sense, just with a cooldown attached to it and no specificity. Honestly, it's great, maybe a little overpowered, especially when you take Mauga's Berserker passive into account, but hey, it's a lot of fun and activates my monkey brain again, so you've already lost if you're going to try and argue with me. And finally, for Mauga's ultimate ability, Cage Fight, or how I'm going to refer to it from now on, Domain Expansion. Hey, give me crap for it, but that's exactly what it is, don't even lie. I will explain what Domain Expansion is for those who don't know, but if you haven't seen Jujutsu Kaisen yet, that's on you, I don't make the rules. Well anyway, Domain Expansion has Mauga place a circular barrier type thing that traps both yourself and any enemies within a 7 meter radius for 10 seconds, all the while you, the specimen, get infinite ammo to just go at it. As you can guess, this is so much fun to use. Just the theme of this hero, really. It's the epitome of the whole I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me thing that things like the Doom series live off of. It's just so awesome. However, it does have downsides, namely the fact that the domain isn't impenetrable. Sure, enemies caught in there are trapped in there, but the barrier surrounding you has a health bar of only 1500. Not awful, granted, but it can easily be shredded if focused. I mean, after all, Ryan Shield has 1200 health and can easily be melted, and being real, an extra 300 health won't make much of a difference. But hey, when everyone's trapped in there, they'll probably be more focused on the terrifying beast in front of them than the actual barrier, so have your fun and then just close the domain with the ultimate button. It's also great for cutting off enemies from the rest of their team, or even for cutting off enemy ultimates like Diva's Nuke.
Oh.
Sometimes you just gotta take one for the team, man, you know? And to note, when an allied Mauga casts a domain expansion, you'll hear.
We got him where we want him.
And when an enemy Mauga casts a domain expansion, you'll hear. For some general advice and or recommendations for playing Mauga, given he's a brawl tank, a type of hero that's meant to get up close and personal with the enemy team, I found he works better when attacking, so you'll probably struggle playing him on hybrid maps should you be put on defense. Though that's not to say it can't work, you're more likely to find better results with his kit on attack. He's also massively countered by the likes of Ana and her Bionade, which can completely shut off your healing from Cardiac Overdrive and prevent you from gaining overhealth, pretty much leaving you as easy pickings for the enemy team. But if you just have to play Mauga into an Ana, make sure you have a Kiriko by your side to cleanse the effects of Bio and or Sleep Dart. It's all about momentum with Mauga, so keep it going. Speaking more on team synergy, combining domain expansion with a large number of ultimates is going to yield great results. Some noteworthy examples will be ERE's Captive Sun, Junkrat's Riptide, Genji's Dragon Blade, and even Cassidy's Deadeye, so if you've got those ults on your team, get a little communication going and see what you can do. Other heroes that can work alongside Mauga include Brigitte, with her similar brawler playstyle perfectly complementing the type of aggression levels you'll want when playing Mauga, and the likes of Ashe and Torbjorn with their aforementioned ability to inflict the burn status on enemies too, working super well with how Mauga's crit damage works. Personally though, Ashe is maybe a little more reliable because of how the burning effect can be more frequently produced with her dynamite. And that's a wrap! Overall, I think Mauga is a super fun addition to the playable roster, but I probably only feel that way because I'm biased for playstyles that lean into aggression, and I have suffered for long enough with how tanks have been recently, so vindication, baby! And you know, the dev team's free for free on fun new tank additions, prior to being Ramattra and Jungle Queen, so at this point, the tank category is the most successful one for new heroes. As a closet tank player nowadays, I really like that.